Alright, well I guess I'll just start off by saying, has anyone heard of the trolley problem? Or MC, you want to explain to us what you've heard about it?
So the most basic example is say that you're driving a train and you're going on the track, and if you keep going, you're going to kill 3 people, and if you switch tracks, you're going to kill 1 person. And these people are basically they're exactly the same. It's not like the one person so important or whatever. They're basically the same, and yeah.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah, so I'll explain it. So there's a philosopher by the name Philippa Foot who first introduced the sort of trolley scenario, which is that there's a runaway trolley going down this track, and you are sort of a bystander standing at this junction, and if you don't do anything, this trolley whose brakes have gone out is going to run into these 5 people, and you know for sure that those 5 people are all going to die. But you do have the chance here, since you're standing here, to push a button or pull some kind of lever that will divert the trolley onto another track where it'll hit 1 person. And so the sort of moral question is that, like, is it morally permissible for you to pull the lever to switch the track to kill 1 to save the 5 people? So I guess let's just go around and everyone say, like, yes or no. Do you think it's morally? What's your question?
Because isn't there like variation? Because when I've done this before, it's like one track is like random people, and the other is like your family member, someone you really love. Like say it's like.
Well, let's just say for this purpose, you don't know anything. You don't have any feelings about these people. Would you, if you were the person standing here, would you flip the lever to divert the track to kill the 1 person to save the 5?
Yeah.
Yes. Would you?
Yeah.
Bo, would you? Jackson?
No.
Alright, yeah.
I would.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I think we have a general consensus that yes, it is morally permissible to divert the trolley to save 1, or to kill 1 to save the 5 people. Philippa Foot then came up with another sort of variation, but this time it has nothing to do with trolleys, but sort of is the same thing. Let's say you're a surgeon and there's 5 people in a hospital that all need a different organ and to be able to live. And so this person randomly comes in for their daily checkup or their monthly checkup, and they see that this person is a perfect match for all their organs for these 5 people that need saving. So then the question now is, would you kill this person, harvest their organs to save these 5 people? And now we'll go around.
And let's stipulate that you probably want to stipulate that the 5 people are going to die otherwise.
Yeah, the 5 people are going to die otherwise unless you do this organ transplant.
Well, that's definitely murder.
Yeah, that's definitely murder.
So you would say no, you don't think that's okay.
Wait, where on the organ donor list are they gonna?
They're gonna die. This is the only way you're gonna save them. Would you do it?
But then it's murder. Like you're killing
So-
this person.
so that's no, right?
A healthy person.
No?
No.
No.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
Probably Jackson's the only one who would do it, right, Jackson?
So I feel like based on that logic, then yes. Like,
Okay.
You would do it?
I mean, you wouldn't know
You're the one, you have to go kill a person and take the organs and
Like-
do...
Well, once turning the switch and the other is actually killing.
but it's the same exact.
But it's the same.
It's the same.
She's been primed. What does it mean to be primed? What do you mean by that? Do you know what I mean by that? Well, sometimes the order in which you ask questions,
Yeah, the order.
right? So this is what in social science, when you're doing a poll or a survey, there's this phenomenon that's called
order,
priming.
yeah.
So you explain.
Yeah, like the order of which I'm asking is influencing the way you think. But the way Philippa Foot described these 2 scenarios is that most people in this case say yes, it's morally permissible to switch the track. But in the organ transplant case, most people say no, it's not morally permissible. And she developed this thing called the doctrine of the double effect to sort of explain this. And it morally differentiates between like intended outcomes, which is like the in the transplant case, which is like you're killing the 1 person to save the 5, as where here is unintended but foreseen consequences of your action. Like it's unintended that you're killing the 1, but it's like a foreseen consequence of the action you make. So that's what she used to differentiate between these two thought experiments. But then later on came this other philosopher called Judith Thomson, who she then said, maybe this is not so simple, and came up with her variation, which is a loop. She gave the trolley problem as a loop, and said that it's sort of the same thing. There's your bystander here, and there's the 5 people, and she said that this variation kind of goes against the doctrine of the double effect, because she felt that some people were more okay with this, even though it seems like you're intentionally killing one to save the 5. But then
So JB, Thompson claimed that this is a sort of a counterexample.
Yeah, counterexample to the doctrine of
the doctrine of double effect, or to
Yeah.
the idea that the doctrine of double effect is a solution to these
Exactly, yeah.
trolley scenarios. Okay, how so?
So the runaway trolley again is here. You're again the bystander at the switch, but if you don't do anything, the trolley's going to go around and hit the 5 people. But if you do switch, it's going to hit the 1 here, and by hitting the 1, it's going to grind the trolley to like a halt, and it'll save the 5 people in result. So, like I was saying, Thompson said this is an example that sort of goes against the doctrine of double effect, because she feels that by switching here, it's different than there. You are like intending to kill the 1 in order to save the 5, and she said that what difference does this little extra bit of track actually make, as where there it's two different tracks. But then some philosophers then said maybe that's not so simple, and so I guess I was one of those. And so I did testing between 2 tracks of the loop, where I guess this wouldn't be. Where I would just say that, well, some philosophers said that maybe instead of intending to kill the 1, maybe you're just intending to send the trolley on some sort of delay, which is what I tested here between these 2 different loops. So by turning right, maybe what the person is intending, or their intuition is saying that maybe they're just trying to delay the impact as long as possible. I gave people these 2 different loops, where if you switch it, it's gonna hit the person like immediately, as where in this run, it'll take like a longer time to hit the person. So I was saying that people would feel more okay switching when it's gonna delay, when there's a longer delay, as where if it's right here, maybe the hastening of killing the 1 person would make people feel that it was less okay to switch.
What do you think the delay does to people's intuition?
Well, I just think that, I mean, you can see in many decisions when there's a delay, or when it's farther away, you feel like less immediacy, and as where like if it's right away, you might feel more tense, or may feel that it's less okay to do. And then that was the case with the results. It was more, almost double the amount of people felt that it was like less okay to switch here as it was to switch when you would delay. So like the philosophers who said that the loop was just actually not a counterexample to the doctrine of double effect, because it's actually a result of some extraneous features, like the people would just want to send the trolley on a delay rather than
So wait, JB, this is not a counterexample to the doctrine of double effect, because in the left example, the intention is what? The intention. Because in the left example, the intention is something other than killing.
Well, yeah. I mean, the left example is just because it's. Well,
Because of the right example. So,
because of the right example,
Uh-huh.
that you just want to send the trolley on the
Yeah, so
delay.
this is an example of where like philosophical arguments don't really explain people's intuition fully.
Yeah.
So people think that if there's some delay, something happens way into the future, I don't have to really deal with it today or something like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Do you think
Yeah.
AI will destroy us all?
That may possibly, yeah.
Do you guys actually worry about it like I do?
Well, I think that's a question of the delay too. I mean, for many of us,
100% question today.
it
So
thinks
what
far away.
probability do you think that AI will destroy us all?
And how many
That
Yeah.
in the future, not today.
Like in the whole history of like
Yeah, we're gone
Hundreds
because of
of-
AI.
yeah.
We're extinct because of AI. What do you think?
probably 30%.
30%. Okay, what about you, bro?
25.
25, bro.
Yeah, like 30%.
Okay, so we talked about like survival probabilities earlier. Okay, what about you?
2%.
2.
That is gonna replace all humans.
Kill us all.
Like 2%.
2.
1%.
How about you?
We basically have until climate change kills us or until the sun explodes. So probably like 80.
80%. Wow. Yeah.
I think probably like in the 80s to like 90s.
With such high probability, we're not doing anything today. That's shocking. Why is that?
Delay.
It's delayed.
Delay.
It's
Delay.
delayed.
Yeah.
But is a delay rational?
Is a delay rational? It's not. It does not. It's not explained by philosophy.
Well, I think it's rational because none of us are gonna be alive for it.
That's a good question.
But do you love your-
What about your kids?
Yeah.
Do you love your
They don't
grandchildren?
even exist yet, so you can't really express.
Yet.
Yes.
So Claire, do future lives, people who don't exist, how can somebody who doesn't exist
Yeah,
have a right?
discounting-
You know,
so
how
this- so
can?
this is called discount.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Claire, does Claire fully discount the value of those future lives? Like they don't exist, so they don't even have any rights. They have zero interest because they're not existent. Is that your point of view
I'm
on
just
future
explaining the
generations?
delay.
Oh no, but no, I know, but my question is, are you completely discounting the value of those future lives because those people don't even exist? And you might think that if something doesn't exist, like a unicorn, then it doesn't have any interest at all. It doesn't have any value. Is that how you
Are
regard
saying
future?
zero is
generations?
0.000000001
Like rights or chance.
value of future lives.
I think they absolutely have value. I'm just
Okay.
explaining why people now aren't doing anything about it. Is because we're not
Yeah.
going to be alive, so there's no.
That's
There's whereas for this
They're
example,
supporting James'
it's happening.
argument. Yeah.
Yeah, it's happening within the next.
It's a
10
long
years.
loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we're not going to be alive, we don't feel as much urgency to do something about it.
But Claire, should we?
Should be.
I think. I mean, I guess so. I think I personally do, but I see why it would take a lot of effort and money and stuff like that. There's other
But
factors.
this is like climate change, isn't it? Right. It's not just AI. We
But-
can't see it.
But I think climate change is guaranteed that it's going to be destructive, but AI, people argue that it might not be.
Yeah.
I think we already are kind of doing something about it because, like, I forget what brand it was, but the self-driving car almost ran over a lady, but then it almost ran over a lady and they got like banned for a few months. I don't know, they were just gone for a few months. And I think now they're back, but they're definitely a lot smaller now. But they got banned for a few months, maybe to like update or whatever, just because they almost ran over one person.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, so we do respond to the threat of AI when it's immediate, when it's a woman who just almost got run over. Ian, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just saying like these large language models, they're learning from us and from like all over the internet. And I'm saying like as humans, we're naturally like greedy and everything. And I think that bias will show eventually to the AI. I mean, if it's gonna be learning for hundreds of years, it's gonna see like it's gonna see like the other side of humans. And I feel like because of seeing that and it's training itself, like just think it's training itself again and again.
Right.
This loop, it won't stop, and it's just gonna start spiraling out of control. And no one knows, like right now, no one knows what's going inside ChatGPT. It's like a black box in there, and like you don't know what it's thinking really. It's just the algorithms that like even like mathematicians can't.
Yeah.
Oh
see
wow,
inside it.
that is so chilling because I mean what you're presenting this is possibly that we have these two options, both of which are dreadful.
Yeah.
One, we can try to just train the AI on ourselves and our own moral conduct and beliefs, but in that case, the AI is going to turn out as bad as we are, and then it'll kill us,
Yeah,
right? Because we aren't perfect. We're far from perfect. On the other hand, we could try to instill in this AI these abstract moral principles, but like we're so poor at figuring out abstract moral principles as you know, we've seen in the difficulty of solving these moral conundrums like the one that JB confronted us with. It's very hard for us to really distill what we really believe morally and to think that we could actually like come up with a list that we can then program into an AI. It's not practical.